The greatest lie ever told is that you are finished, that the human being you are today is the final version. The ancient builders of the pyramids knew this was false. They didn't build tombs, they built gateways. For millennia, we have been told a comforting story that the Great Pyramid of Giza was a monument to a dead pharaoh, a testament to ego. This story is a veil, a deliberate misdirection to hide a staggering truth. The pyramid is not a tribute to death. It is a finely tuned machine for transcendence, an instruction manual in stone for unlocking the total potential of the human mind. And its secrets were never meant to be buried forever. The first parable is the one we stand on, the foundation. The pyramid's base is a near-perfect square, aligned with almost impossible precision to the cardinal points. It is vast, immovable, and fused to the bedrock of the earth. This is the first lesson, the first initiation. Master your foundation, your physical body, your health, your connection to the material world. Without a stable base, any attempt to build higher will inevitably collapse. You cannot reach for the stars if your feet are not planted firmly on the ground. But what if this grounding wasn't just a metaphor? What if the pyramid's specific placement at the exact geographical center of Earth's landmass was designed to harness a telluric current, an energy required to begin the first stage of this profound transformation? From this unshakable base rise the four faces, the second parable. They represent the great duality of the mind, the four pillars of consciousness: intellect and emotion, intuition and will. The journey upwards requires that these four faces remain in perfect balance. If your intellect outpaces your emotional wisdom, you become cold and brittle. If your emotion overpowers your will, you are lost to the currents of chaos. The structure teaches that true ascent is only possible when these four aspects of the self work in unison, rising together to meet at a single point. But the passages inside the pyramid are not symmetrical. The descending passage leads down into the bedrock, into darkness. The ascending passage leads up towards the heart. This represents a choice we all must make. Which path will you take? To proceed, the initiate had to climb the grand gallery. This is the third parable, the ascent through challenge. The passage is steep, narrow, and deliberately difficult to navigate. Its soaring, corbelled walls create a sense of both oppression and aspiration. This is the path of growth. It is not meant to be easy. It represents the trials and tribulations one must endure to strengthen the spirit. Each step is a lesson. Each handhold a victory over limitation. It is the conscious struggle against gravity, against inertia, against the desire to slide back down into the darkness. But acousticists have been baffled for decades by the gallery's perfect resonant properties. Was it designed to amplify a specific frequency, a sacred sound that could literally vibrate the initiate's consciousness into a higher state? Before reaching the final destination, one passes through the antechamber, a small, low-ceilinged room designed to create an immense pressure. This is the fourth parable, the confrontation with the shadow. This chamber represents the last gatekeeper, the ego itself. Here, in this constricting space, the initiate must face their deepest fears, their pride, their attachments, all the parts of the self that hold them back. It is the dark night of the soul, a necessary trial by fire before the final unveiling. Historians note the chamber was fitted with massive granite portcullis slabs, not to keep robbers out, but to seal the initiate inside. Why would they need to be trapped, alone with their own mind, unless that was the entire point? Finally, one enters the king's chamber, the heart of the machine. It is stark, unadorned, and built from massive blocks of solid red granite. In its center sits a lidless, empty sarcophagus. This is the fifth and most profound parable, the willing death. This was never a place for a physical body to be buried. It was a place for the ego to die. The initiate would lie within the stone coffer, not to end their life, but to end the illusion of their limited self, to be reborn into a state of expanded awareness, free from the shackles of identity. The sarcophagus is famously too large to have been carried through the passageways. It had to be placed there as the chamber was being built around it. It is not an accessory. It is the very reason the pyramid exists. What does that tell you about its purpose? The true secret of this chamber lies not in what it held, but in what it could do. This is the activation sequence. The precise dimensions of the room, the specific type of granite used, were all engineered to create a perfect resonance chamber. The reborn initiate, lying in the sarcophagus, would create a specific tone through chanting or meditation. This tone, amplified by the chamber, would resonate the entire structure, turning the pyramid into a colossal energy conductor, focusing a beam of subtle energy right into the initiate. This was the mechanism for unlocking latent human abilities, intuition, insight, and beyond. Modern scientific tests have confirmed the king's chamber focuses and amplifies electromagnetic energy. Were the ancients using a form of physics we are only now rediscovering to literally reboot the human brain? Yet there is one piece missing. The pyramid as we see it today is incomplete. The original capstone, the pyramidion, is gone. This is the seventh parable, the unfinished work. Its absence is the final lesson. The journey of human potential is never truly over. The structure can take you to the threshold, but the final step, the placement of the capstone of enlightenment, must be taken within. It cannot be built from stone. It must be forged in consciousness. Legends say the original capstone was solid gold, a shining beacon. But what if the true capstone was never a physical object? What if it was a state of being, a radiant consciousness that the perfected human was meant to become? This ancient blueprint is not a relic of history. It is a living map for you now. You do not need to travel to the sands of Egypt to walk this path. The pyramid is a metaphor for your own inner world. Build your foundation in the real world. Balance the four faces of your mind. Embrace the difficult ascent of your personal grand gallery. Confront your shadow in the antechamber of your soul. And finally, have the courage to let your old self die in the king's chamber so that a new, more expansive you can be born. The architects of this knowledge left behind a puzzle of 2 million stones, trusting that a future generation would be wise enough not just to measure it, but to finally understand it. Are we that generation? Here is the ultimate secret, the truth hidden in plain sight. For thousands of years, we have looked at the Great Pyramid and asked, how could ancient people build such a machine? We have been asking the wrong question. The real mystery is not the pyramid of stone. The pyramid is just the manual. The true technology, the consciousness-altering machine it was designed to activate, has always been the human being itself. It has always been you. Think about it. Why construct the most miraculous and enduring structure in history, a guide of impossible complexity, for just one pharaoh? It makes no sense. Unless it was never for a pharaoh. It was a gift for humanity. It was for you. So the final parable is this. You are the pyramid. The potential for greatness, for transcendence, for a reality beyond your wildest dreams is not out there in the desert. It is encoded within you. The journey to unlock it is the great work of your life. The only question is when you will begin to build. Which chamber of your own inner pyramid are you in right now? Are you building your foundation, or are you facing the darkness before the final breakthrough? Let us know in the comments below. And if you seek to decipher more of the parables hidden in our past, subscribe to Pyramid Parables and join the great work.